Hi, this is for CS232. This is for exam number 3. This is a Collatz node. I have to break up my code into 3 different files. I did try to do it in one full file source, but it wasn't working for me. So in the beginning, I included the standard IO for displaying output. Then I include its own header file with the declarations. From there, I use the namespace to use cout and end line without a prefix. So in the function 1, we're going to generate a Collatz sequence. From here, this function takes the starting number and builds a linked list representing the Collatz sequence. It then returns the count of terms and sets the header point to the first node. This is where line number 7 is. So from there, we then on line number 7, we then start allocating memory from the first node and starting it from its first number. Then we then build the linked list node by node. So we initialize a counter and store the value with working with the number of the start. And after, we then loop until we reach 1. If the n is even, divided by 2. If odd, it's multiplied by 3. So this is what this while statement is saying. And then after, then it returns to count. We create a new node for each Collatz term and it's linked. We move the pointer to the new node and increase the count, which is why we return a count. So we then display the entire sequence in a linked list. It displays all values in the linked list. So we loop through the first print of each number and separate it with arrows. So we're seeing out the arrow. From there, we go to delete the sequence to free up memory using the linked list. It frees up the memory to prevent memory leaks. So then we go into the header file. And then from the header file, this prevents the file from being included multiple times. So we then define a node from the linked list. It holds one integer and points to the next node. I do apologize for my daughter if you can hear her. These are the functions that declare their actual code, which is in the first file, not the header. So this is the structured definition. And then we have the functional declarations, which is right here. And then the source is where my initial function is. So in the main function, what I did was declare the variable to store the user input. So then I cout, enter an integer, then I cin the user number. Then from there, I go ahead and do my variables. So I make sure that the longest sequence found so far, which is the max length. Then I do a number with the longest sequence number that is generated. And then I do the longest head pointed to the longest sequence in the linked list. So then from there, it does a for loop. For each number generated by a Collatz sequence using the function. If the sequence is no longer than the previous, we delete the old one, the old list, and save this one as the new longest and update the record holding number. And then if the long list free from its memory. So then we cout the results. Show the number with the longest sequence and the numbers of terms. We print the sequence using the display. So this is code. What was making it really hard was creating the number with the longest sequence. So then I had to create a for loop. But overall, this is my exam number 3. Thank you so much. Have a good day.